25 minutes to 8 o'clock, Sportsday for Ford and your local Ford dealer. Go further, Tony Leonard with Terry Wallace, going right across country Victoria, northern Tasmania, country New South Wales, and other parts of Australia. Very grateful for the time with the senior coach of the Collingwood Football Club, Nathan Buckley, who joins us. Thank you very much for finding time for us, Nathan. Nice to have a chat.
Cheers, Tony. How are you?
Terrific, thank you. Before we sort of talk nuts and bolts about just what you're looking to achieve between, say, now and the start of the pre-season with Plough, of more interest, I think, to a lot of us is Collingwood's partnership with the Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation. Can you tell us the background of that and what messages the clubs will be trying to promote?
Yeah, look, it's probably a good week to be talking about it. Clearly it's something front of mind for parents, and clearly with their young kids coming up, sort of being exposed to gambling, advertising, etc. It's something that I think education is really important to go through. Trav and Bawley are the ones that are heading the front line from the Collingwood side of things, and our partnership with VRGF's something important to us to improve the education about it and make sure that that everyone's aware of gambling and the effects on them, on their family and friends, and just to be very conscious about the part that it plays in their life.
It's funny how just sort of campaigns, a stack of them can come and go with really solid social messages, but one that's really shooting home to me is this KidBet campaign.
Yeah, look, I think it's important that young kids understand how it affects them. I mean, I think you can fall into it really quickly. We're pretty aware that about 1 in every 25 kids get drawn into it, through sort of incidental sports betting advertising that takes place. And I think just the awareness of what they're watching and how it could potentially impact on, as I said, the children themselves, the young adults themselves, and then their mates, and to be able to have some education around that, which is pretty important.
Bucks, I've been wrapped with what the football club's been able to do on the field from a trading point of view over the last couple of years. Can you just take us through how it sort of come about? Because to me what it sort of seemed like you thought perhaps with a portion of the group that you had, you've probably gone as far as what you could and got some real currency out of some of those players that, to me, I think will set you up for the next 10 years.
Yeah, Terry, we've had a very sort of young profile through our squad. Not just last year, but in the previous sort of 3 or 4 years, we haven't been an old list by any stretch. But I think you're always trying to stay competitive in the short term, whilst looking or keeping an eye on being able to compete in the medium and long terms. There's no doubt that GWS and Gold Coast are on the horizon, and they've cornered the market and really carved away over the last 3 or 4 years the best junior talent that's come through the system in that time. But we feel we've been able to hold on to the nuts and bolts of the established successful side of 2010 and 11, and been able to add to that, and feel that we're pretty well placed in the short term and sort of going into medium term as well. Well,
if you add Taylor Adams into it, who I think is a first-round draft pick, absolutely, it's pretty much 6 first-round draft picks you've actually been able to deliver to the footy club. That takes a lot of buy-in from you as a senior coach, because as we all know, I mean, it's easy to run out with blokes who are 26 plus years of age and have played 150 games than developing those kids. But you brought a lot of kids into the team last year, and you continue to develop that part of it.
Yeah, look, I think some of it's planned, Plough, and some of it comes about through performance or potentially not reaching the potential that you feel that you have. I mean, we made decisions, to play 40 players last year and debut 8 players. That wasn't necessarily by design. We weren't planning to have to blood 8 players, but in the end, the young players stood up. They showed through their work ethic through pre-season and buying into the way that we wanted to play, that they were capable of playing roles throughout the season. 14 wins, 1.5 wins shy of top 4, which is clearly any premiership contender's aim at the end of home and away is to qualify at top four. We fell short of that and had a really poor performance in the first week of finals against a side that was on a mission. So we've got a bit of a wake-up call in that regard. But yeah, look, 6 first-round draft picks if you add Taylor in is handy. We've obviously it's been a while since we've had a couple of first-round draft picks to add in. Reid and Brown were our last two, and Thomas and Pendlebury a couple of years before that. So, look, it's been it looks fantastic on paper. It's good. It looks good off-field stuff, but we need to do the work to make sure that we're prepared to beat the best sides in the comp, and we fell short last year.
The other thing that I think Collingwood has done pretty well over a period of time, Bucks, is your ability to get rookies and have them come up to play at the level. I mean, Dwyer was one that last year, but it's been irregular. If you have a look through your list, I mean, you got 8 or 9 of them sort of that have come through the rookie list.
Yeah, look, we've, Captain Nick Maxwell's been the poster boy of that. Harry O'Brien, Alan Tuvey, to name 3 are guys that have become, established heart and soul members of the football club and came through the rookie list system. Tarkin Lockie as a coach came through the supplementary list way back when. So, we've had exposure and a history of it. And I think when that is in your history, when it is part of your past, and it really does. It screams out to any rookie list players that come into our organisation that you'll be valued for what you give and for the actions that take place when you arrive in the venue and in the environment. We've seen Adam Oxley and Sam Dwyer elevated this year off the back of just a professional attitude and the ability, whether it's in the interim, in the short term, or clearly what we see that they're going to be capable of, being players that can play roles for us in the next 2 or 3 years and develop into better players. In Sam's case, he's sort of at the tail end of his career from a football sense, but has really been able to take his chance and run with it.
Yeah, can you just tell Collingwood supporters that are listening to us tonight about the boys that you've brought into the football club? Obviously, Taylor Adams, White, and now Tony Armstrong.
Yeah, look, and Patrick Karnesis is another. So we're back at training on Wednesday, so we've had a couple of days, face to face with the boys. But I mean, clearly Taylor was a player that we had targeted, throughout the year. We've done a little bit of work on him, and when it was clear that he was wanting to move, it was trying to find the economics to get it done, and that took a little bit of time. But we're wrapped to have Taylor on board. We think he's a bull. He attacks the ball flat out, and contested ball is his real strength. Actually coached him in the under-16s at Vic Country, made him skipper at that stage. So he's got leadership qualities, and really looking forward to working with Taylor again. Patrick Karnesis, 3 years in the Brisbane system. Great size. Collingwood supporter as a kid, has been well documented. So he comes back into the fold. His family's from Melbourne, so we're hoping that provides him with a bit more stability. Clearly, he didn't take his chances up there, didn't get a lot of chances, but he has great talent, and we feel that in a new environment and with the opportunity to sink his teeth into our club, that he could give us something there and maximise his talent. Tony Armstrong, similarly, from Adelaide and then Sydney, so probably an extra bit of bite and depth off half-back for us, very skillful player. Just probably got squeezed out of a really good Sydney side and lacked opportunities, but we feel that if he can take another step forward, he'll be good for us. And Jesse White, who hasn't been in the training yet, but I thought his 2013 was sensational and just got stronger and stronger as the year progressed. Through his final series, he showed that he's capable of some really good footy against the best teams. And we're looking for all of those boys to come in and have immediate impacts for us.
You Ripper Bucks, thanks for sharing some time with us, and well done too on the Collingwood initiative, teaming up with the VRGF, Victorian Responsible Gambling Foundation, and promoting the positive messages therein through the Collingwood Football Club. Look forward to having a chat with you next year. Enjoy the pre-season.